Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to see the topic of arrays. Arrays. Let us try to define what is an array. An array is a collection of elements of same data type stored in continuous location. Why we need to go for such kind of thing? A collection of elements of same data type that are stored in continuous memory locations. Why do we need to do so? Initially, let us assume I need to create five elements like A1, so five different marks. So M1 is equals to 45, M2 is equals to 40, 30, 354, or some kind of integers, or M3 is equals to 34, etc. So now I have three different elements. So integer. So I have created such kind of things. So now try to think of row of lockers. Each locker is identified by a number or an index. All the locker can store one kind of a thing, same data type. So such kind of things I can put it in. Similar elements can be stored in multiple continuous memory locations so that I can access the next item easily, next locker easily. See, మనకు ఎప్పుడైతే లాకర్స్ అనే ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ తీసుకుంటామో బ్యాంక్లో లాకర్స్ కానీ లేకపోతే క్లాక్ రూమ్స్లో లాకర్స్ కానీ ఇవన్నీ వన్ బై వన్ ఉంటాయి. ఆ వన్ బై వన్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది? జస్ట్ సంథింగ్ లైక్ దిస్ నౌ ఐ హ్యావ్ ఫైవ్ డిఫరెంట్ లాకర్స్. ఈ లాకర్ సైజ్ అనేది మారదుగా. Size of the locker is the same for all five lockers. If I know, if I can have the numbers like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I have the numbers like this. So if I have clock room 1, that's my clock room number. And I have all the serial numbers. Why do we have all the serial numbers? Because we can ease of access will be easier. వెతుక్కునేటప్పుడు మనకి టైం పడుతుంది. Whenever we wanted to print any element in the memory space. So now this is my entire memory. Consider this is my entire memory. The variables like will be like this. A1, A2 will be located somewhere, A3 will be located somewhere. Now if I wanted to search for an element A2, now, if I wanted to search for an element A2, now I need to start searching from this. I have to search A2 for all these places. Somewhere around I will get this A2. So searching space is more. Searching time will take more. For searching, we need more time. In order to reduce the search time, what if I place A1, A2, A3 next to each other? If I have something like this, first of all, I need to search for A1 itself. If I got A1, immediately I'll get A2. Immediately I'll get A3. The search space is reduced. Assume that there are 100, 1000, 10,000 elements. My search space will get reduced. My search time will get reduced. That is one of the reasons we need to go for arrays. So that's what arrays. So how do we declare arrays? Now we will see how do we declare arrays. So first of all, we'll try to write the syntax of array. Syntax of array. Data type. First of all, we need to say what kind of data that you wanted to store in these particular arrays. Array name, array name, and size. Size. Here, data type refers to integer, float, char, etc. And array name refers to the variable name what you wanted to keep for this particular array. In this particular example, we have sent that the variable name is clock room. The variable name is clockroom1. In that order, if you wanted to create any array, what is the name of that particular array? And size refers to how many number of elements you want to store. How many number of elements you wanted to store. In this particular example, we wanted to create integers. For example, I wanted to create integers and I wanted to have int clockroom 1. And what is the size of your array? 5. I wanted to store 5 different elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to store 5 elements. For this is an example of how to create an integer array with 5 elements. Creating integer array with 5 elements. Okay. So this is what we store. So it can store 5 elements into our integer. And initialization, you wanted to assign any values to that particular array. At the time of creation itself, I wanted to assign some values. Let us say I said integer arr is arr of 5. So this is array declaration. Array declaration, which means I am creating space for the array. I have created space for this particular array. Now that is okay. Afterwards, I wanted to access the values that I will do it. But now I wanted to create the array at the time I wanted to initialize values into that particular array. We can do that in three ways. Number first way, int a of 5. So I want integers with 5 elements where I can store 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. So this is the first way of doing it. So all values assigned. I wanted to do it in another way. So here I wanted to store five values, but now I have only few values, 1, comma 2, comma 3. So all remaining, all remaining spaces to 0. So for example, if you take this particular example, I am trying to create something like this. I wanted to create an array with five elements. So where it will be storing like this 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5. And in the array, we have something called index values where the index always starts from 0. So we will be accessing the array elements with the help of index value. A is the name and this is index value. So this is how we can initialize the values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the time of memory allocation to that particular array. Now we will see the second one. So how it will happen? So now it will happen like this. So for that this kind of thing, so D will be there and five elements are there because we have created for five elements. We have created for five elements. The memory space will be allocated for the five different elements. Array index always starts from 0. Array index always starts from 0. So, but we have initialized only two values, but the later values will be assigned with zeros. This is because we have tried to create only or initialize only three values in the particular array. మనం అరేని డిక్లేర్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు త్రీ వాల్యూస్ని మాత్రమే ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేసాము కాబట్టి మిగతా వాల్యూస్ జీరోకి అసైన్ అవుతాయి. నౌ ఇట్ కమ్స్ విత్ ద థర్డ్ వన్. Now it comes with the third one. I will not say the size. I will not say the size. I will not say the size. So which means C will be created. It will be auto resized. It will be auto resized to only three elements. 5, comma 10, comma 15 or 115, whatever it is. The index value always starts from 0. So this is how you can try to initialize the elements at the time of declaration. Declaration means creating memory space. Declaration of a variable or array means we are allotting, not we, operating system does that. Operating system allots space to that identifier, whatever it is. It may be a variable, it may be a structure, it may be an array, whatever it is. If it's an identifier, the OS will allocate memory for that particular identifier. So now in this particular case, int a means 4 bytes of memory will be allocated. 4 bytes of memory will be allocated. Allotted or allocated, anything is fine. Int a of 5, which means 5 integer space. 5 integers, which means 4 into 5 is equals to 20 bytes of memory. Memory will be allocated to a of 5. So now we have tried to understood what is declaration and initialization means like this. At the time of declaration itself, when manaki ఐదు ఇంటీజర్స్ కావాలి అని చెప్పడంతో పాటు ఆ ఐదు ఇంటీజర్స్ ఏంటో చెప్పటం ఇనీషియలైజేషన్ అనమాట. ఇనీషియలైజేషన్ ఎట్ ద టైమ్ ఆఫ్ డిక్లరేషన్. మెమరీ అలాట్ చేసేటప్పుడే అందులో ఏ వాల్యూ ఉందో చెప్తున్నాం అనమాట. సో దట్స్ వాట్ దిస్ ఇస్. ద నెక్స్ట్ కమింగ్ పార్ట్ ఈస్ యాక్సెసింగ్ అరే ఎలిమెంట్స్. సో ఇప్పుడు మనం అరేలో ఎలిమెంట్స్ స్టోర్ చేసాం. నౌ ఐ హ్యావ్ అరే ఎలిమెంట్స్. ఇనీషియలైజేషన్ చేసినప్పుడే, నేను డిక్లరేషన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేశాను కదా. సో లెట్ us assume only we have this particular part. Okay, we have only this particular part. అరేని నేను క్రియేట్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడే, అంటే డిక్లేర్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడే వాల్యూస్ అనే వాటిని అసైన్ చేసుకుంటూ వచ్చాను. సో వీ హ్యావ్ సంథింగ్ కాల్డ్ ఇండెక్స్. వీ హ్యావ్ సంథింగ్ కాల్డ్ ఇండెక్స్. ఇండెక్స్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఈ బాక్స్కి రిప్రజెంట్ చేస్తున్న ఒక వాల్యూ. సో ఇందాక మనం ఒక ఎగ్జాంపుల్లో A1 A2 A3 అని తీసుకున్నాం కదా, ఆర్ M1 M2 M3 అని తీసుకున్నాం కదా. ఇన్ ద సేమ్ వే నువ్వు డిఫరెంట్ డిఫరెంట్ వేరియబుల్స్కి పేరు పెట్టుకునే బదులు లైన్లో ఉన్న వాటికి ఒక సీరియల్ నెంబర్ ఇచ్చుకుంటూ వచ్చాం. దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ వీ కాల్ ఇండెక్స్. అండ్ దెర్ ఆర్ సమ్ రూల్స్ ఫర్ ఇండెక్స్. ఇండెక్స్ వాల్యూ ఆల్వేస్ స్టార్ట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ జీరో. ఇండెక్స్ వాల్యూ ఆల్వేస్ స్టార్ట్స్ ఫ్రమ్ జీరో. ఇండెక్స్ వాల్యూ అనేది ఎప్పుడు కూడా జీరోతోనే స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. సో నౌ లెట్ us try to understand whether we have done perfectly or not. Let us go back. Let us go back. So let us try to run this particular program, whether our compiler is working fine or not. Our compiler is working fine. Now I wanted to declare an array. Declare an array. So declare an array. So int a of 5. So this is only declaration. This is only declaration. I'm just running the program, but it will not display any output because there are no outputs in this program. As you can see, the program runs successfully, but there is no output because we have not declared anything. We have not printed anything. So this is the only declaration. I wanted to declare another array, integer 5 is equals to, I wanted to say 1 comma 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and all these values are assigned like this. This is how you done this. Now I have an array something like this which has an index value 0 1 2 3. Array index always starts from 0. Now I wanted to access this particular element. Now I wanted to access this particular element, and in the definition, if you wanted to remodify the definition of an array, array is a collection of homogeneous elements which are stored in continuous memory locations and can be accessed by a common name called array variable with the help of index value. This is the perfect definition of an array, which includes everything related to the arrays. One dimensional arrays, we have two dimensional arrays also, which way later we will see that. So this is the perfect definition of an array where you have homogeneous elements. What is meant by homogeneous? Similar data type, similar data of elements which can be stored in continuous memory locations. And we will come to the part of memory locations later, but now we have to see which can be accessed by a common name called array variable with the help of index value. Index value sayamto we will try to access the all the elements of that particular array. Okay, now I wanted to print this this particular value 1. So and the index value is 0. How do we access? So syntax would be array variable array variable in brackets index. You are supposed to say like this, you are supposed to write like this if you wanted to access any particular element of the array with the help of index value. This is how we try to access them. This is how we try to access them, which means nothing but a of 0 will print 1 for us. A of 0 will print 1 for us. Let us try to write a small program for that so that we can able to understand much more quickly. I wanted to print, so print in the double quotes we will write what is the formats that we wanted to print. The number is percentage d, and what is the value that you wanted to print. Initially if it is a regular variable we used to put a, but I don't want a, I want the value which is present in a of b of 1. So which means I wanted to access, consider if it is b, For suppose B, I wanted to access the element which is present at the index position 1. Index position 1 ఉన్న దాని దగ్గర నేను యాక్సెస్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను. So I will put 1. So if I say so, now I wanted to print this. So there are some functions. What is that? It's not print, it's printf. Okay. So put semicolon also. Yeah, the number is 2. See, now here in this particular thing, we try to access this particular 2 because we have tried to print the array index value of 1, right? So in the same way, we can access the other elements also. Now I wanted to access the value present in, see, now I wanted to present the value of 0. So now I wanted to access the value 0. So let us try to assume that I wanted to access 0, a of b of 0. So b of 0 will be giving us the value 1. B of 2 will be B of 2. What is B of 2? Now I wanted to check what is the index position. I wanted to go to the index position. Now this is my index position. Index position 2 లో ఉన్న value ఏంటి 3. So now if I run this particular program, I'll be getting the value 3. So value 3. So this is how you access the elements in the array. Access the elements in the array. And you may ask, sir, I wanted to read a value into the user. Absolutely, we can do that. Absolutely, we can do that. So reading elements into array. How do we read a normal variable? Let us say we have a variable called a. Okay, let us say we have a variable, regular variable a. Okay, variable declaration, variable only declaration. Now I have a variable a. So scanf in the percentage d we will be having, and we will say percentage a. Why? Because we wanted to specify where you are reading a value integer and where that particular value has to go and get stored. I wanted to store that particular value in the address location. See, we've discussed that the operating system will be allotting space to each and every variable, like in the entire memory space. Now the variable a will be stored somewhere, and you are reading a value from the user, and that value has to go and sit somewhere, which means I need to say this memory location as 1000 or 1001. In this particular location I wanted to put a value 10. So that's why we have to say address of the variable a. Address of variable a is nothing but అడ్రస్ ఆఫ్ ద వేరియబుల్ ఏ ఇస్ నథింగ్ బట్ 1001. అంటే నువ్వు రాగానే 1001 సీట్లోకి వెళ్ళి కూర్చో. సో విచ్ ఈస్ నథింగ్ బట్ వెన్ ఎవర్ వీఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు ద మూవీ థియేటర్, అవర్ సీట్ నంబర్ విల్ బి మెన్షన్ ఆన్ ద పేపర్. In the same way, after entering into the memory space, the OS will say, you go and sit in this particular location. So that's what we are doing in this particular example. But in the case of an array, we should always specify with the brace, with the index number. So now I wanted to read a value from the user, a value into index index position 1. Okay, so this will read the value, and I wanted to print the value. So before reading into the position 1, index 1, what is the value we have? We have 2. Now I am replacing the value with 2 with whatever the user has given. So now let us say b of 1. So we will try to put b of 1 also. So let us put a backslash n so that we will have a new line. Okay, b1. So we are printing the existing value in the b1, and we are trying to replace that particular value with the user given value. And later that I wanted to print the number again. I wanted to print the number again. So the modified number, it's not a new number now. The modified number, is b of 1. Let us run this program so that you will understand. It's taking a little while for the compilation. So see, initially the number is 2. Initially the number is 2. Now enter the value in the index position POS1. Now I wanted to value the give the value as 25. I wanted to give the value as 25. So the updated value will always be 25 because we have modified. See, initial ga ila undi. Initially we have something like this. Initially we have the array like this. It is not A, it is B. Okay. Initially we have done something like this. Now I wanted to read a value from the user and store in this particular index position. ఈ ఇండెక్స్ పొజిషన్ లో నేను 25 పెట్టాలనుకుంటున్నా, విచ్ మీన్స్ మై array will become something like this. My array will become 25. This is my new updated array. Okay. So I hope everybody has understood what is an array, how to declare that particular array, how to initialize values into that particular array, how to print the values of an array, how to read the values from the user and store them in the array. As a whole of the array, we'll see it in the next class. Thank you.